What's up YouTube, it's Young Man's Daily Red Pill. Back for another upload. Thank you guys for clicking on today's video, liking my content, sharing my content, growing up this brotherhood. I appreciate every single last one of you. Have a blessed day today. Alright guys, so I kind of wanted to talk about a red pill observation, what I've been noticing lately. Besides the fact that honestly guys, I don't know if you've been out lately, wherever you're at, if the quarantine's been lifted, wherever you're at, but I've noticed that fewer and fewer people are wearing clothing, especially females I'm talking about in this situation. This is a man's channel. So yeah, fewer females are actually starting to wear clothing. And I kind of predicted this. If you watch my 5 things that we can expect after this virus situation, I talked about how women would start wearing fewer clothing just for the attention and validation they've been lacking over the last 3 months or however long we've been quarantined. I think it's been like 3 months. But yeah, so I've been noticing that as well. What I wanted to talk about in this video has to do with that, because what I noticed about a week ago was I went into my local grocery store and I decided to do a little Instacart shopping. As some of you guys know, I do Instacart on the side of YouTube, my regular jobs, and I just do it when I have free time. But I happened to go to this grocery store that was near my location, and I was standing in line and shopping, and I noticed that there was a mother and a daughter, and they were in there shopping as well. But this woman was with her daughter, and she was dressed very provocatively, okay? She had really tight clothes on and yoga pants, really just her boobs were hanging out, all these different things going on. And I noticed that her daughter was wearing very short shorts, and she was wearing like a tank top, crop top kind of thing as well, boobs pushed up. You know, she was already looking like a thought, and it's kind of sad to say that. But I happened to notice this, and I happened to pass by them a few times. And, you know, I didn't really pay attention to it at first. But then we get in line together, we're waiting in line, and I'm behind them in line, and I see this woman basically coaching her daughter on how to be a thought, basically. She's in line telling her to adjust this, adjust that, pull up your shorts a little more. They kept turning around and actually looking at me, even though I wasn't paying attention to them. You know how you can kind of tell when people are looking at you? I was kind of listening in on their conversation. I happened to notice that they would turn around a lot and look at me, kind of laugh or whatever, or smile. But honestly, this bothered me because I've noticed this within my personal life as well. I have a sister. So what happens is the mother has a lot of impact on how the daughter is raised and how the daughter ends up being as a woman eventually. And I've noticed this in my personal life with my sister. For instance, my stepmother, she used to always post pictures with my sister and whatever she was wearing, and sometimes it wasn't always the most appropriate clothes that she would be buying my sister, who was only at the time around 12 years old, 11 years old. She was a little kid, a little girl, sometimes even 10 years old, buying her these provocative clothes, showing off some skin already at such an early age, telling her to be proud of her body. Which, you know what, you should be proud of your body, but you shouldn't have to show it off and advertise for negative attention like that. The only thing you're teaching your daughter if you do that is to basically be a 304 one day, and to basically be promiscuous and to expect men to thirst after her, and you're going to attract the wrong type of men that I'm pretty sure these moms don't want their daughters to deal with. But these moms themselves are used to being thoughts, okay? These moms themselves have grown up and been promiscuous. For instance, the woman that I was in the store with her daughter, I didn't see any husband around. I didn't see any brothers or sisters. I just saw her with her daughter, and the mother looked like she would get down to. And that's just the sad reality of the situation. Who knows where the dad is? In my situation, I've noticed more times than not, the dad is very quiet. And the dad, even if he does see something that he disagrees with, if he sees maybe his daughter's wearing some provocative clothing and the mother's pushing for her to wear it, and the mother's pushing her to be liberated and show off some skin and to be comfortable in her body. That's what they always like to say. That's coping, basically giving your daughter permission to be promiscuous at an early age. The father usually sits back, and if he's beta, he's quiet about it, or even if he disagrees with it, he will still sit back and be quiet. And if he does stand up and raise his voice and says he doesn't like it, more times than not, if you're married to the average woman, she's still going to allow this daughter to wear revealing clothing, shop at Victoria's Secret at an early age, show off some skin, and attract the wrong type of attention, the negative attention. But then this same woman, this same mother, and the same family will get upset when other guys, bad boys, players, whoever it is, end up hooking up with their daughter at an early age, and she gets pregnant, she's a thought, whatever it is, she gets ran through. But they have no issue buying her the clothes that advertise herself, saying basically, come here, I'm open, I'm free, I'm promiscuous, I'm easy. That's what her clothing basically says about herself. And I realize that a lot of parents struggle to understand, whether it's they don't have a backbone or they have no real understanding of how men's minds work or the type of damage that they're doing to their daughter, putting her out like that. But it's really sad to see, honestly. It's sad to see that there could be such lack of respect between a mother and a daughter, and a mother could care so little about her daughter, and that she's willing to put her daughter out there like that. So what I always say in my mind is, just like the mother, so will the daughter be for the most part, all right? This is for the most part. I'm not saying all, but for the most part, if the mother is promoting her daughter wearing these promiscuous, revealing types of clothes, and she is wearing that kind of stuff, and you see the mother wearing this kind of stuff, and the mother's not saying anything, the mother's actually influencing her, the mother listens to rap music and is all about pop culture and showing off skin and being sexually liberated, then more times than not, the daughter's going to see this, grow up with this, and she's going to think the exact same way. And she's going to grow up and not respect herself. She's going to grow up and be a promiscuous woman, grow up and eventually never be able to settle down because she's had too many bodies, all right? And that's the sad reality. She's going to have way too many bodies, so she's going to be unable to pair bond. Pair bonding is a real thing. Pair bonding basically means once a woman reaches more than about 3 to 5 partners, she's unable to just stick with one partner, all right? She's unable to just bond with her husband eventually if she gets married. She's unable to bond with anyone in a long-term relationship because she's given herself away. And this is honestly a lot of what's the issue that's going on right now, whether it's the United States or any westernized country. We see a lot of these kinds of things going on. We see a lot of weak-minded, soft, no backbone having beta fathers that will allow this to happen underneath their roof of their home. And instead of these fathers putting their foot down when they see it happening, or instead of them correcting the mother that's promoting this kind of lifestyle, that's promoting their daughter wearing this type of outfit, their daughter that's dressing promiscuously, they instead encourage it, or they just stay silent, which is almost just as bad as encouraging it. Because silence kills. Silence just basically means you agree with what's going on in that situation. You're basically saying, it's all right. I don't want even a part of it. And it's especially messed up because I know a lot of guys out there that have daughters, this is their worst fear. I know personally, I never would want to have a daughter. That's me personally. I've made videos on how I didn't really want to have kids in general, but honestly, especially having a daughter in today's generation will be such a horrible thing and will be such a scary time parenting, because you would have no idea who that mother of that child would be, the environment she grows up in, especially if you end up getting a divorce. There's all types of bad things and situations that can happen. And you don't really necessarily even know the woman you marry because she can change later on. The female mind and the female emotions and the female nature always is like the wind. It always is changing. It's constantly changing. It's never the same. It's constantly up for grabs for other men to look at. It's constantly seeking approval of other men. It's constantly going out and being promiscuous in order to seek that high value male. But in the process of doing that, they run through a lot of bad guys and a lot of bad decisions. They make a lot of bad decisions, sleeping around a lot, clubbing, drinking, getting into drugs, doing all these different things just to secure this high value male they think is out there. But by the time they try to secure him, they're 30, they're already washed up. And then they have daughters after that, and then they teach their daughters the exact same things that they grew up thinking. And then this is how the cycle continues. They end up just ruining their daughters and teaching them low value type of stuff. And this is basically the current situation we're in right now in the United States. It's just older motherly thoughts raising younger daughterly thoughts, unfortunately. So if you're a mother out there, be careful about the type of daughter you're raising. Make sure that you're buying her appropriate clothes. Make sure that you're not showing off her body. Make sure you're telling her how to dress modestly. And fathers out there, if you have a backbone, stand up for your daughter. Don't let your wife determine what she can wear. Don't be just with the trends. Don't just sit there quietly and be passive. Do you want to raise a thought, or do you want to raise someone that's noble? And do you want to set her up for success in the future?